Hey, it's Dino from Digitspin Crypto. Thanks for catching this special episode. We're interviewing George Alexandru, who's on the marketing team for WebDollar. It's a community coin and it's a speculative coin. Keep that in mind. It's brand spanking new and, it's really in its early stages, so a lot of people are mining it. Now, also keep in mind to get alerts of all the freshest, newest news, all the goodness that can get squeezed out, subscribe down or click on the links down below in the comments for our Twitter, Digitspin Twitter, and the Digitspin Telegram channel. You'll find them useful and interesting and be able to communicate with others that follow Digitspin. Now, we've also added closed caption to all of our videos, so this is a good thing. Keep that in the back of your head. So we'll have Russian, Hindi, Romanian, and Chinese translations automatically built into the broadcast. That covers it. So the only thing I really have to say at the moment is let's get to it. So WebDollar is being a speculative coin because it's new. We have no idea if it's going to be worth anything or a penny or what have you. But this project looked pretty good to me, and the team seemed to be very transparent. The details and the technology seemed to be good, and the ease of use really stuck home with me because this seems like just about anybody can mine these things and interact with them. So the reason why I looked into WebDollar. Now keep in mind there'll be a link for a mining pool if you want to give it a try. It uses your browser, so it's a CPU based. There's no hardware to purchase, nothing else needed. You just basically click on the link and it opens your browser, creates a wallet, starts mining for you in the pool, and you can earn some WebDollars. So it's kind of basic and easy. Now, we do give away 50 cryptos on our live show each night at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, and you can pick either WebDollars or Electronium. But if you want to earn some WebDollars, put your address in one of our live videos, the latest one, and we do give away some cryptos each and every show. So keep that in the back of your head. Additionally, round 2 for the airdrops is going to be starting today, or it may have started already. And so if you want to get 100 free WebDollars, I'll put the link down below in the comments, and you'll be able to get those 100 WebDollars from the airdrop. A couple of minor things you have to fill in and do, and 100 WebDollars are yours. So with further ado, let's get into the interview. Hey, it's Dino from Digitspin Crypto, and today we're going to talk about WebDollar. Now, we happen to have a very special and unique guest today, George Alexandru. These guys, he's on the marketing team for WebDollar, and he gave us the privilege of a few minutes to be able to talk with him, ask him a few questions, and tell us a little bit more about WebDollar so that you can be a little smarter when you're mining and investing or whatever you're doing with WebDollar. So let's take a look and let's bring George in. All right, there we go. So George, how's it going?
Hello, Dino.
How you doing,
Not
buddy?
bad,
You're out. Yeah. You know, you're out in where's that? You're out in England, aren't you?
Yeah, in London.
In London. Wow. So did you go on the giant eye?
Yeah. I'm looking at it now.
Oh, look at you. So George, I mean, we've talked on Telegram a few times. It's great to finally see you face to face. Tell me about yourself and introduce yourself, what you do, and how you're connected to WebDollar.
Okay, so my name is George, as is already told your audience. I collaborate with WebDollar, although this is not my main activity. So I do have a day job like everybody else, and cryptocurrency, let's say it's a hobby I have. It's a passion. So I get involved in the marketing activity of WebDollar, and well, most of my activity is based on the WebDollar forum, where I answer questions or help people to start using WebDollar.
Awesome. I'm sure there's lots of questions these days with all the new users that you guys have been getting, and it's been pretty exciting. So are you in, do you normally do technology? Is that your forte, or you have a totally different field of work that you do?
Well, I work, my job title is actually architectural designer. So I do architectural design. So it has absolutely nothing to do with cryptocurrency or technology. Well, maybe yes, with technology, but not with cryptocurrency.
Understood.
Like I said, cryptocurrency is just a hobby, a passion I have.
Very good, very good. Now, let me ask you, how did you get connected with the guys from WebDollar? These people that you knew, the developers, and you guys got together and thought this was a good idea, or?
No, when I found out about WebDollar, the project was already in progress. So what happened is that, well, I was already into cryptocurrency. So I used to do a lot of research about new crypto coins or new projects related to cryptocurrency. And that's how I found out about this project. When I found out about it, the project was still in its early stages. So it was they were in their testnet. So that's why I got in contact with them and started to help them with a bit of marketing or moderating the community on Telegram, because that's where they're really active, on Telegram. So yeah, that's how I get to know them. And I've managed to build a very good relationship with them, with the core team.
Awesome. So then you took on those marketing responsibilities and helped them move the project along. That makes sense.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So you were telling me that you do the moderation on the official forum for WebDollar, and be able to bring information to people and for the different topics and everything. So tell me a little bit about the forum and what's that about. Let me bring it up on the screen here so we can kind of see it at the same time. I'm gonna move you over and bring it up. Now the forum, this way everybody knows, when you go to WebDollar, up in the top right here, you'll see the forum link, and you can click that to get to the official forum. And of course it'll bring this up. So tell me a little bit about this forum and what's this all about.
Well, I've launched the forum a few months ago to help people to get information. Initially, so I've kind of launched it myself, and then some other people started to help me out to gather as many information as possible. After a while, it became the WebDollar official forum. And now it's very populated. People are asking questions. We answer it, because it's not just me. There are other people that help me to answer questions in the best way possible.
All right. So now, is this the primary location to be able to interact with WebDollar directly?
It's the most accessible place where you can get information. But WebDollar also has social media channels like Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or other places. But where the most activity, the most of the activity is on Telegram. There are two main Telegram channels. where you can get instant replies to any question you have. But again, not everyone uses that Telegram, so we had to build other places more accessible to everyone, such as the forum or Facebook or other places.
All right. So if somebody's new, they can click on this here and they can get information on how to mine and
yes,
you know, what new things are going on.
Yeah, a lot of tutorials, a lot of links to other websites where you can get other information. Tutorials from the most simple one to the most complex, from how to use a wallet to how to mine in terminal or any kind of tutorials.
Okay, so yeah, so I see categories here about the product, the white paper and description. Now you keep this all up to date when they make modifications, so that everybody has the most newest information at all times. Okay,
yes,
so this is good. So we got the block explorer, all the experimental pools,
which now it's the devs are now working on launching the pool. So there's a bit of there is some information in there about the pools.
Okay, all right. Terminal browser issues, blockchain updates. Now, you guys are where? You guys started this coin. You guys are what, in Romania, aren't you?
Where
the main developers?
Actually, that's the two main developers are in Romania, but the rest of the community are spread around the globe. I'm in the UK. There are other people. I don't know. There's a community. There's a big community in the UK actually. There's a community in Italy, in Germany. There's a community developing in China now, Russia, United States, and so on. So the core team, the two main devs are they're based in Romania, but the community, yes, is international, because that's where WebDollar wants to go, international, not just Romania.
Okay. All right. So we got articles, useful links. All right. So basically, you want to be able to go to this forum. It looks like there's all the good stuff is here. Everything you would need to know would be in here. There's also, is there a link to the Telegram channel in this, in case somebody wanted to be able to find that Telegram channel?
There is, yes. Here? Yes, there's a section or a topic with useful links. That's where you can find links to all the channels from Telegram.
All right, so if I click on this useful links, this will take me into links for, okay, so these are pools, mining systems, reward calculator. So I would imagine
I think
click
the first one. Yeah.
All right, so so we got the WebDollar main channel, the Telegram me WebDollar. Perfect. So this is where you would go if you have Telegram to be able to get in touch.
Yes.
Obviously, you guys have a Romanian language channel. A news
there's
update.
A Romanian one. I think there's a Russian one. There's Chinese one. I think there's a Chinese one. No, actually no, because they can't use Telegram in China. In China, they've built a community on.
Oh yeah, they use the like a QQ or SL, whatever. Yeah, they use a different Telegram. I get it. Now there's something new in here. I didn't even see this before. You have a WebDollar Bazaar Telegram. I knew about the escrow and exchange channels, and
okay, so
all this others.
WebDollar not being listed on an exchange or the API for integrating payments into websites are in development. The community have built their own ecosystem themselves. So these are all these channels, except for the first two, which are the international, the official channel and the Romanian channel. All the other channels are built by the community, including exchange, but so that people can start using actually WebDollars.
Okay, so this Bazaar channel, what are people selling goods with each other?
Selling goods, yes.
Okay.
Yes. They sell goods for WebDollars, yeah.
All right, so this is how they're handling it for now until there are either websites or official channels to do that, official exchanges or what have you. Okay, that makes sense, because I had never seen the Bazaar channel before, so that was kind of new to me. Okay, we got the global hash. All right, so yeah, so you definitely want to take a look at these links, because this is going to get you a lot more information and some of the nuts and bolts that are going on with WebDollar, and to be able to interact on a pretty quick basis with somebody if you decide to go to the Telegram. But ultimately, this WebDollar forum seems to have just about everything you need to get all the information and have all the information at your fingertips. So it looks like a pretty good job here, George. I see a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of great topics here, and if somebody wants to add something, they can just add themselves.
Anyone can add a new topic, ask a new question, or post a new tutorial or anything that could help to spread information.
All right, and I guess this comes down to where I wanted to go next on this is that, you know, why is WebDollar so special? And, you know, obviously one of the things that we're talking about is it's an open community project. But I'm going to let you tell me about WebDollar, what it's about, how it started. Was there an ICO? Is there, you know, what's going on with this? How did this all come together?
Well, how did it come together is that the developers and the initial core team, they've met at some kind of event, and that's where they started talking about launching this new technology. That's where it all started. That was, I believe, in October/November 2017, so less than 10 months ago. That's where it all started. The mainnet, they've launched the mainnet on the 1st of May, or the beginning of May. So it's been live for a couple of months now. What's special about WebDollar? Well, a lot of cryptocurrencies, there are loads of cryptocurrencies out there, and most of them are very hard, not very hard, but let's say not easy to use. They have like a lack of accessibility. On some of them, like Bitcoin, for example, you need like really expensive gear to start mining it, or it's very hard to implement it in a website as a payment method. Not everyone has access to a crypto coin. That's my point. What WebDollars comes with is simplicity. They're making this coin so simple that literally anyone can use it. You only need a mobile phone for transactions, or a laptop to start mining it. This is where we go to our to explain our main goal. Our main goal, WebDollar's main goal, is mass adoption. And you cannot get mass adoption unless you offer simplicity.
Yes, and you know, the feedback that I've been getting from a lot of the viewers, I've introduced people to WebDollar only because I thought you guys were pretty awesome. You've always been there to answer my questions. And, you know, the first time I went to this WebDollar page, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, there's my wallet, and there's its mining, and wow, you know, this is such an easy thing to do. If anybody can do this, you don't have to be a tech person.
That's the main feature of WebDollar, the simplicity. The fact that everyone is able to use it. You don't need to download stuff or install anything, or you just use it with your current equipment, with whatever device you have available. So that's what will make WebDollar become popular worldwide.
I agree 100%. That's sheer ease of use, and everybody hears about mining, and you got to go buy ASICs and GPUs and screw this together, put these wires in. And, you know, the average person who's just tinkering, for them to be able to just say, click on mining, I think it's definitely the right track. I think clearly that brings in people that don't have those skills and or want to go get additional hardware. So I think you guys put it together in a nice package. Tell me about how did this all launch? Is it did you guys put out an ICO? Is there I mean you know who's paying for all this to do all this, the developer? How's this working?
Nobody is paying anyone at the moment. So the WebDollar is not a company or an organization or a limited company or anything, or a foundation whatsoever. WebDollar is a community. Therefore, there was no ICO. There was no fundraiser. What's making us doing this is passion, is that we believe in something. And I think that's stronger than any ICO out there.
Okay, so there was no collection of money, no ICO, just a bunch of guys got together, put together a community coin. Now, did you guys fork? Did you like take somebody else's code and fork it, or how?
No. The entire code has been written from scratch, from zero. There was no fork, so WebDollar has its own blockchain. It's not on the back of some other cryptocurrency. It's got its own blockchain written in JavaScript by our genius developer Alexandru together with Alexandru which are the best devs in the whole world. They've managed to write this code in only 6 months or so.
So before before it went live in May, they were working on this code for 6 months before that, because it seems like a dangerous thing to do, to create a whole new system when it's taking years for everybody to get the bugs out of it. So it seems kind of like, wow, to start something from scratch seems like a big challenge.
Yes, but when in my opinion, when you're driven by passion, sky is the limit.
Okay, so I was looking at the team here, and I see Alexandru, both Alexandrus, Bud and Panay, out there on Telegram and actually answering and talking to people. Now these guys are the two folks that are doing the coding. Now it's not just the two of them. Has there been many more people in the community that have also added to the source code?
So they're the two main developers, the two Alexandrus. Of course, they get help from the community. As you can see on the official website, there are other two or three developers that help them with writing the code in different areas, of course. But mainly, yes, these are the guys that made everything possible.
Okay. All right. So it's not just the one guy in his basement. There's you have two core developers, and then you have 3 to 10 other people that contribute and help out to make this product.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. All right. So have you had do you communicate with the other guys in the group? These folks also help out in the development. You got Ionot. How do you pronounce each of these names? Because I don't know.
All right, so there's
Ionot Moreau.
Okay, so there's Ionuț Moraru, which is a data analyst, Constantin Busioceanu, system administrator, and Christian Antal, software engineer. So these are the 3 developers that do help Busioceanu and Panait to develop everything.
So these guys are also involved in the code and helping moving things forward.
Yes. So basically, all the people that you see on the website, most of them were just part of the community initially, and they become part of the team now, such as myself.
Okay.
So that's why I'm saying that WebDollar is a community. It's not any other kind of company or any kind of organization.
Okay, so these guys added some additional value to the project as it was going along, and were welcomed in to be part of the part of that community.
Yes.
And because of their contribution, they were added to the site. I get it. All right.
Yes.
Because this is all open source and an all community project. It's not like somebody owns this or, you know, what have you. Everybody just comes together. All right. So you got to have some evangelists. Tell me, what is an evangelist? What do they do?
Well, basically they promote WebDollar. So our main goal is to promote WebDollar, and we're working on some materials for the marketing that will start right after the launch of the mining pools and the exchange. So we're currently working on providing a lot of materials, such as videos or blogs or other kind of marketing stuff. So that's what we evangelists do. Yeah.
Okay,
there are only 4 people in there, but the evangelist team is actually much more bigger than that.
All right, all right. What do you have? 10, 15 people that kind of help kind of promote the product?
Well, to be honest, everyone in the community helps WebDollar in a way or another. But let's call it the core evangelist team. Yes, we're about 25 people, I think, at the moment.
Okay, very good, very good. And obviously, you're on that part of the team and representing some of the marketing and like you said, the WebDollar forum is one of your specialties. Are you an administrator for any other informational areas? Is it just the WebDollar forum, or do you have do you handle the Twitter page or the Facebook page, or is that shared between other folks that took on this community?
No, it's me and other people that administer and moderate the forum. And there are different people that administer the social media part. So there's a team that is focused only on the social media part.
All right. So these advisors, these are folks that have also donated their time towards this project. Then, since it's all pretty much volunteer.
Yes, some of them are. Some of them have been there from the beginning, and the others have been added due to their contribution to the community.
All right, so that makes sense. And these guys have obviously some specialized skills, and then they kind of chime in to give suggestions to the group. I guess
yes,
that's how
like
economic
advisors. Management advisors and marketing advisors and so on. Yeah.
All right. So tell me about you know, what else makes this coin so special. Now, I think when I first took a look at it, I was kind of, you know, had my socks knocked off that people can just literally mine on their CPU, and and it was super easy, and that was all good and everything. But when I had taken a look at you know, you go to some of these coins in their ICOs, and I've seen 50% of all of the coins go to the projects, and the community coins, obviously, they don't take all that much, but I've seen some even in the community projects where they reserve a lot for the community. One thing that really kind of impressed me was that it was a total of about 9.9% that was reserved for the community project, which is kind of special, and I thought was a really good starting point for you know, an open coin that starts from the beginning. Tell me about those funds, what they're for, and how is that distributed? How is that controlled or decided upon? Does the community vote on how they decide to spend those coins on marketing, or can you tell me anything about that?
Yes, that's correct. There was 9.9%. You're talking about the Genesis block,
correct?
Which was 9.9% of the total supply. Yes, well, 50% of the Genesis block goes to the developers, and 50% will be used for the marketing.
Okay, so that'll get distributed. So basically, they get together as a team and then decide, I guess, vote on or whatever to decide who, how they want to distribute those coins.
Well, the initial distribution. Sorry. So this initial distribution of the 9.9%, which is the Genesis code, well, has been decided at the beginning of the project. So when they started, they decided, okay, so we have no funds, we will have no ICO, therefore we need funds from somewhere, because we can go with no funds until a certain point. But to build a serious marketing, we need some funding from somewhere. So where can we get the funding from? If not from our own project. So that's how they thought that part of the Genesis code could go to the marketing.
All right, so that makes sense. So, but you know, obviously nobody's actually getting paid, because let's face it, this is a speculative coin. It's, you know, there's a lot of coins out there, and not everyone is going to be, you know, the next big thing. Obviously, the guys that are involved in this, yourself included, are hoping that this will be the next big thing. But when you started, obviously the coins are really kind of worthless at that point, because, you know, there's nobody mining them, nobody buying them. You know, you can't go down to your local store and buy anything with it yet. So obviously nobody got paid, and it's all on hope of if the project does well and the coin actually has a value, that it'll return something back to them. So obviously that kind of helps everybody get involved, and if they believe in what the project does, it makes it a possibility for the future. So the marketing right now, obviously people are trading these things. I've seen them in the community, trading these things between each other.
Yes, in fact, as you see on the forum, there's a link to the exchange channel on Telegram, and that's where people can buy or sell WebDollars.
Okay, so let me ask you, the marketing, the coins that are kept for the marketing and everything, are those just going to be kept squirreled away for a period of time, do you think, or are they slowly selling them to be able to raise funds so that they have actual fiat to be able to spend on things, or is the community taking money out of their own pocket to pay for things? Who's paying for the marketing? I mean, you're building a website. Is it, who's paying for this?
Well, nobody's paying for this, to be honest. If someone is paying for it, it's paying in WebDollars and not in traditional currency. So yes, everyone is hoping that someday this crypto coin will become very popular and will worth something. Until then, we can only do our best to make it grow and make it in such a way that everyone can hear about it and everyone can start to use it. Once it becomes popular, then you know, the value is imminent.
Okay, all right. So my question is that obviously, I mean, it takes hardware, so you got to pay or is the community using pretty much all free resources to be able to bring the message out, or is WebDollar paying for anything? And if they are, is that because they're selling coins, or pretty much, or the coins that are in reserve are, in other words, are those coins going to be sold off right away to turn into money, or are they holding on to those for the future that they put in the Genesis?
Obviously, people that are already mining WebDollars have to sell WebDollars, otherwise they cannot support their investment. Marketing-wise, I don't think there is anyone at the moment that is selling WebDollars for the sake of marketing. So all the materials that we use and everything that we do, most of the stuff we take it from free tools, or we make it ourselves, or we even, for example, for the when I created the forum, of course I had to pay for the hosting, for the site and everything. So the spending is at the moment minimal. But in the future, well, the main our goal is to, of course, pay people, but in WebDollars, not in definitely not in any traditional currency.
Okay, so most of those coins that were in the Genesis, obviously some go to the developers. So some of those coins are going to get distributed to the developers based on their performance and their voluntary contribution. They may get a few coins as a bounty or a reward for coming up with something new. The marketing coins, those are pretty much then still there. They don't have intentions to just dump those out. Are they planning to hold on to those and only use them as they need?
Well, yes, in fact, I think an important part of the marketing resources, the WebDollars allocated to marketing, will go to this bounty system, this program that we're about to start right after the launch of the mining pools and the listing on an exchange. So there will be like a bounty program based on social media. So everyone will be able to get some WebDollars if they meet some of the requirements that we need. So such as sharing materials, or creating materials, or any other activity on any social media, as long as is related to WebDollars.
Okay, so it's not like those coins then are going to be sold and somebody's going to squirrel off with the money. They're using those coins to give back to the community for their efforts also. All right, so I get it. So you know,
every WebDollar from the marketing accounts will go to people. Nobody's going to sell anything.
I get it. Now I understand. That's always a question. You know, people, oh, well, who has these coins and how are they used? And now I have a better understanding. I didn't know if they were going to sell them and try to convert them to fiat. But in WebDollar's case, which makes a lot of sense, they're going to be giving them to people that contribute to the coin's success as rewards. So that's pretty much how everybody. So basically, the coin's value will become, and those Genesis coins will become more of a value by people adding more to WebDollar as a whole. That makes me feel a lot better because you know, it's always a question in the back of your mind. You know, so we're going to run off to Mexico or whatever with all the coins, and so I think that's pretty fair and equitable. And thanks for explaining that to me. It was just something in the back of my mind. And I have to tell you guys up front too. I think that was a very fair rate. I mean, I haven't seen a project that has started off with what I consider a fair amount of reserved coins like WebDollar has. And that was another thing that attracted me to this. You know, I mine a few coins and I try to squirrel them away, but you know, I don't have a great amount by any stretch of the imagination. But the fact of the matter is, it's a pretty cool project. It was, with that amount of coins to give back to the community. I mean, this is genuinely, and even, and the developers being available. I mean, this is genuinely, it feels like a grassroots type of situation. I feel like, if I was to have started with Bitcoin back then, this kind of feels like what it would have been like to me, to have all of this interaction and everything is people, doing. All right. So let me ask you a couple other quick things. Obviously, since May, it started up. How's it been going since May? Has there been any major milestones or anything that has changed since WebDollar went to the live net?
Okay, so yes, we've launched the blockchain in May, and the very next step is launching the mining pools to make mining easier for everyone. Of course, this unfortunately has been a bit delayed because we had some attacks on the network. Well, the devs had to focus on those attacks rather than developing further the pools. But I think that the code for the pools is now like 99% finalized, and this will be launched within not more than a couple of weeks. And afterwards, they will build an exchange that will run on the WebDollar network. So we'll have our own exchange. And then the next step will be listing WebDollar on an independent exchange, such as, but I don't know which exchange will be, but it will be.
Okay, so you brought up three things that I, really open up some questions for me. You don't mind if I ask you some questions on these things? And hopefully, I know you don't do the development, so you're probably not going to be into all the nuts and bolts, but hopefully you'll be able to answer some of these for me.
Of course.
You had said that WebDollar was going along and you guys got attacked. Is that anything you could tell me about? Obviously when nobody attacks a coin that has no value or doesn't have a future. So obviously somebody thinks you have a future, otherwise they wouldn't be messing with the coin. Can you tell me what happened with that?
Yes, there have been like a few attacks from different sides. And like you said, if WebDollar had no value, there would be no attack. So I'm pretty sure someone feels threatened by WebDollar, or I don't know, someone doesn't want WebDollar to develop further.
So did they try to shut down the network, or did they flood the network?
One of the attack was focused on flooding the network with fake transactions. But then the developers have managed to create like some kind of codes to avoid this in the future. So every attack that has been on the network so far, well, we took it as a free audit because after every attack, the network became stronger and stronger. So instead of hurting us, they've actually helped us.
So basically, they were hoping that the developers would go, "Oh my gosh," and collapse, and the whole thing would collapse. But they
yes.
They were actually smarter than them, and they're able to make the changes and make it more robust. Yeah. And these are the things that I was saying. If you fork something that exists, those things have happened already, and protections have been put in place. So WebDollar is basically developing and evolving as it's going along, since it's something completely brand new.
Yes, if they had to, if they started the project by forking an already developed project, they couldn't. There is no such project at the moment that can bring simplicity to people. So, for example, if they I don't know, decided to fork Bitcoin. Making Bitcoin simple would have been extremely difficult, or maybe impossible. So that's why they've chosen to write the code from scratch, from zero,
right.
implementing their own ideas and their own concepts.
That makes sense. That makes sense now of why he had to start from scratch, because this is something completely different at the usage level that I was surprised nobody did it before, and now it makes sense is because you have to start all over. Now, another thing that you had mentioned in that sentence, in that conversation prior, was pools. Obviously, those folks that started off initially were solo mining, where your CPU can access the blockchain and mine against it. Now, usually pools happen when you have so many people mining against the environment that the chances of you actually hitting a block by yourself gets diminished. So you go into a pool so that you can then share resources and share the rewards. Now, obviously, tell me about what's going on with this. You guys are creating these experimental pools.
Yes.
And, you know, when do you think those will be done? And tell me a little bit about the functionality of these pools. You guys are doing something special with these things and unique.
Yes.
With referrals. And can you explain all that to the audience?
Okay. So there are two pools at the moment made by the developers as experimental pools, and there are other pools made by the community. So I think in total there are about 5 or 6 mining pools that are experimental at the moment. Well, the main functionality of these pools are, first of all, is I was talking about simplicity. So there's joining a mining pool is extremely simple. For example, you just scroll through a list of mining pools and click on it, and there you go. You start mining on that pool. That's the first one. Second one is creating a pool, which is also very simple. With just a few clicks, you will manage to create a mining pool where you can invite your friends, your family, or other people to mine in your mining pool. The third functionality, and this is a very important one, is the referral system. Once you invite a person to mine in a certain mine, you don't have to be the pool owner or anything. You can just be a simple miner in that pool, and you invite someone to mine in the same pool just by sending a link to that person. You will then get a reward from the person that you've invited from the future amount of WebDollars that he will manage to mine in that pool.
All right, so basically you create a link, you hand that out, and people that use your link, you'll get some of the mining rewards that's generated. So
yes.
So this here basically incentivizes people to get these links out. So I think it's kind of a smart idea. I think it'll have that social feel and promotional, self-promotional motivation for people, because then you could make WebDollars by just sharing links. You could make WebDollars by creating a pool, or you can mine it yourself, like you were saying. And so there's so many different ways to earn these WebDollars. So yeah, I think that's kind of clever. And again, you know, one of the reasons why I thought this project is kind of neat, and you know, I didn't even know about that, or it wasn't even discussed back when I got involved. And you guys just keep coming up with new ideas that get people involved. I think everything you've been presenting is really just getting people involved and making them part of it.
Well, we're very focused on the social part. So in fact, that's how we call our pools, social pools or social mining, for the fact that it's based on social experience.
Yeah, it's obvious that's where you guys are going, and I think you're going to have a lot of success. You know, especially, you know, new people and to be able to get involved with all of this and not have to go buy new hardware and be able to earn some of these web dollars in so many different ways. I think it's pretty smart. You know, just in general, I like it. Now, other ways that you'll be able to earn web dollars. I was reading in the Telegram, they were talking about some new bounties. I was looking here, and I guess you guys did bounties originally. Let me bring it back to this web page here. It looks like you guys were doing bounties originally. This was probably before I got the knowledge of your coin, so I didn't know about these. But I heard that you were doing more. Is that true?
Well, I think what you're seeing there is the baby bounty, which took place, I think, actually before launching the mainnet. That was just a test for the big bounty that is about to come.
Okay.
That's what they've developed this application that gathers all the information about the shared links on Facebook or on LinkedIn or Twitter or whatever, and attribute a sum of web dollars to each element of that.
All right. So you guys are gonna then. So when you come up with this next bounty way to earn web dollars, will people be able to go to this this bounty link here to get information on it? That bounty link. Okay, when do you think that's going to happen so that people will know and another way of earning web dollars? Is that something that's going to happen in the next few months, or?
That's going to happen right after launching the exchange. Sorry. So right after launching the mining pools and the exchange, marketing will start together with the bounty program.
Okay, so we're looking a few months out easily. Okay, so and that gives me, because I wrote these things down. Don't pardon me, when you were talking, I wrote down some of the things you were going to tell me about this exchange. So, and before I ask you about that, so currently the experimental pool. Now I've been clicking on that link to mine some web dollars on a couple of machines, and you know, and it says experimental on it. Obviously, as they're testing it and building it, they're letting people use it. It makes sense. You get to, you know, find the bugs and the problems. Are they? You were saying that they were close to having a finished pool system. Is that true? Did I misunderstand?
Yes, they are close. They are close. I think it's a matter of days, maybe a week or two. Until the launch of the mining pools.
Awesome. So that means they've gotten out all the bugs and they've got it working the way they like it to. And all right, so
yes, that's
good news. That's good news, because I know they've been working on that for a while, and then, like you said, they got delayed because of the attacks against the network. So that obviously pushed that out. But that's good to hear that they'll have that. So once that's released, I'll be able to go to WebDollar, and because when I go down here, I look and it says create your own pool. So this part will be modified so that I can make a pool and then send the link to my friends or family or market it or whatever, and then people can connect to my machine.
Yes, that's correct. So by just clicking that button, you will be able to create a mining pool.
That's pretty awesome. All right. We'll see how that turns out. Now, you were telling me about the third thing that you had mentioned was an exchange. So that got me kind of worried. Are you're creating your own exchange? I mean, that's a whole big can of worms as far as, you know, look from where I'm sitting at this side of the desk. Tell me a little bit about it, because obviously I don't know enough to be able to make a judgment on that. And, you know, my first thought is, oh my gosh, that's something very, there's a lot of detail from KYC, you know, knowing your customer and people attacking it and trying to steal it. You see all these exchanges getting hacked. So am I misunderstanding that you're going to actually have the coin ability to buy and sell the coin directly in WebDollar? How's that going to work?
So, well, the devs have developed all this thing from scratch. So they said, okay, let's make an exchange now. There will be an exchange that will run on the WebDollar ecosystem. Initially, it will only be possible to buy WebDollars or sell WebDollars with other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Ethereum. So that's the initial idea. And afterwards, it will be listed on an external exchange.
Okay, so is there intention to make it part of the website? Are they going to make a website, or is this going to be like an intrinsic thing where it's handled externally, that you have your wallet here and you're saying, I'll make these much available at this price, and people will be able to look at it and see what's available and pick it? Do you have any details on that at all, or is it still in the design stage right now?
Well, I cannot go into details because I don't know myself how it's going to work. What I do know is that it's going to be in the same website on webdollar.io, or probably on an external. I'm not sure about this. What I do know is that it will be as simple to use as is WebDollar at the moment. So they will. The focus on the exchange will also be on simplicity.
All right, so I'll be able to take my Bitcoin and convert it to WebDollars through a sense of exchange with other people, and that sounds like a pretty robust project to do. That's probably going to take a little bit of time to make happen. Are they expecting that to take 6 months or so to do something like that?
It depends on how many attacks we'll have on WebDollar in the future. Writing the code for the blockchain in 6 months probably proves that the exchange will be ready sooner than we expect.
All right. So, and you were saying that obviously you want to be able to get on existing exchanges, because that's where most people trade things off and on, and this way somebody could trade not over the counter, because that's kind of a scary experience for some people. You don't know who they are. Even if you guys got on a basic exchange, how's that going? I would tend to think that would also be a very important thing to do, and a lot easier to do. Is that going to come second, or are they going to try to do that first? Because that seems like it would be the easier thing to do, unless I misunderstand.
Well, it is the easier thing to do from a technical point of view. But from a timeline point of view, I think the most logical thing would be to create the exchange first, so to create our own exchange first, and list it on an external exchange afterwards.
Okay, so that's the plan that they're going to go with. All right, it allows you to isolate and still be accessible at the same time. It's an interesting path to success. We'll see how it goes. But then again, you guys have done everything differently and have bucked the trend just about on everything. So, I'm a little I'm optimistically cautious on it. And but who might have doubted you guys, because everything you've done so far has been pretty spectacular and has delivered a positive result. I mean, I sneak onto the Telegram WebDollar page and I see all the people on there, and they all seem pretty happy, and they're enjoying their mining experience, and they're earning some coins, and they're having a lot of fun. And you can't beat results, no matter what I think. Who am I? I don't know anything, So that's going to be interesting, and I'm gonna definitely be following that as we go along. Is there anything after that that you could share that you think is going to be on the roadmap that might happen?
Well,
I'm talking in the future.
Yes, yes. Well, so there will be mining pools and exchange in quarter 3 of this year, and then we will start marketing at the end, probably quarter 4, end of 2018. And then in 2019, next year, devs will develop anonymity, a voting community center for future decisions to make for WebDollar. The most importantly, before middle of 2019, they will focus on developing a smart contracts platform.
Wow.
That's a really important milestone in our roadmap. Afterwards, they will build a decentralized bazaar on the same, pretty much on the same principle as the exchange. So WebDollar will have its own decentralized bazaar. And in 2020, that's in 2 years from now, there will be some. So devs will work on scaling the transactions, so that will allow the WebDollar blockchain to manage a bigger number of transactions per second.
Yeah, you're going to need it at that point. All right, so you've added some new things then. Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate it.
If I think about it now, scaling transactions, I think part of this has been solved after the latest attack with the flood on the network. So I think they had to anticipate this stage.
Okay. All right. So they may have already made some progress in that. So
yeah,
you shared that they might do some smart contracts and a bazaar. So smart contracts, so you're trying to make something similar to what Ethereum will let you do, where you can put together a sub program and be able to program the money. So that would be pretty exciting. That's a big undertaking. That could take quite a long time to do, unless they're going to narrow it to a very specific set of functions and then expand on it as life goes on.
Well, according to our roadmap, it would take no longer than 6 months, probably, maybe less.
So obviously, it's going to be a very small subset of things to do to get started with the smart contracts, because Ethereum's been working on it for 8 years, and they're still for 4 years, and the 17. What was it, 16, 17 that came out? So it's like a couple of years and they're still working on it. And then you said a bazaar. Now, bazaar is going to allow people to put, is that going to be like a gig where you can put I'll make you something for XYZ web dollars, and so you'll be able to sell services and products on that? Is that when you say bazaar, is that what you're talking about?
Yes, I think people will be able to sell goods or services, on a platform, and of course use the WebDollar as a payment system.
So that's smart for you guys, because and just about anybody in the world then will be able to offer a service or make a product or do something and then earn web dollars and share them amongst themselves and use it for an income. So that's pretty smart. I think that's wise of you guys. There are a few coins that are going that direction, where they're trying to get the goods and services out there so people can earn extra monies. And I think those are the types of coins that are going to be really successful in the future, doing those types of things. It'll impact the lives of other people and give them the ability to find new revenue streams for themselves. So That's a wise decision on you got on the WebDollar team. Very good, very good. Now, I had put out a video because you guys alerted me that you were going to be doing this airdrop. How, and you know, I had a lot of folks who were interested in it, and I'm sure that they showed up to get those coins. Tell me about the airdrop that's going on right now. What is it? What do you get? And how is it going?
Okay, so the airdrop has been entirely organized by the community. So it's not something that devs came up with or the evangelist team. It's purely an action that comes from the community. They've actually raised some funds to fund the airdrop. And there are a few guys that got involved with organizing it. So basically, yes, it's an airdrop. It's live at the moment. It started a week ago, maybe 8-9 days ago, maybe less. And there is 1 million WebDollars that the community have raised to give away to people. So if you go to airdrops.io/WebDollar, you will find all the information you need there.
Airdrops, what would you call it? .io/WebDollar.
Yeah.
Let's see what that comes up. And this is the location for it. All right. Very nice. Let's. I brought this up on the screen. Sorry about that.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, I just wanted to take a look, and this makes you you fill out some information, and obviously they have to go to WebDollar first to get a wallet address, and
yes.
Then they put it into this.
No, basically, what you do, yes, you have to. People have to go to WebDollar website to get their WebDollar address. Then they will have to join the Telegram group. All the links are in the description, and must follow or do other tasks like following a WebDollar page on different social platforms. Compile a form, which you need. I'm assuming you're gonna have to add your WebDollar address, and then you'll get your 100 WebDollar token, coins actually.
Okay, so you fill out the form. It says here you visit the website, get your wallet, join the Telegram group, follow them on Twitter, and like and share the Facebook page. You submit the details in the form, and then this WebDollar airdrop sends to their wallet address the 100 WebDollars. I'll get it. Now, obviously, yes, they must have some kind of algorithm or some kind of toolkit that confirms that this person did these things successfully and just doesn't take their word on it. I would assume that it checks it.
Well, this is a website where a lot of airdrops are being organized. So yes, again, the community is taking care of this. So I'll be honest, I don't know many details about it.
Okay, so
I'm assuming that,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's all right.
This here was, so this is not being funded by the Genesis coins. These are people that got together from the community. They pooled money and they decided to do this all on their own. This has nothing to do with any of the Genesis funding.
That is correct. That is correct. Yes, all the founding for the airdrop comes from the community itself.
Wow, that's pretty generous. 1 million coins. Had to take a little while to get together, I would imagine. All right. Very good. Did you want to add anything to this? You were about to say something, and I accidentally cut you off.
No. So the airdrop is live at the moment, and anyone can go to this website airdrops.io/WebDollar and performing a couple of simple tasks, and they can get their 100 WebDollar coins.
Okay. Now, obviously, there's some left still, I would imagine. Do you
There
have
is, I
you?
think, well, from the start of the airdrop, that's about 4,000 people have joined our Telegram group, and I think the resources are at about 60% now. So yes,
All right, so there's
the
still
airdrop will
time to
continue
do it.
the airdrop will
And
continue until they spend all the 1 million $1.
awesome. All right, that makes sense. That's pretty good. I think that's an awesome thing to have happen. All right, so we talked about some of the other ways to earn it, which was the bounties already, and we talked about some new features. Is there anything else that comes to mind that you'd like to tell me about? Do you think we hit everything?
I think we did hit everything. Nothing crosses my mind at the moment.
All right. Let me ask you this then. Obviously, this is a speculative coin. Nobody knows if it's going to be worth anything at all in the future. Obviously, people believe it is because I see them trading it and purchasing the coins. I think that there's a good future for it. You know, tell me your thoughts on that. Where do you see this? Where do you see WebDollar ending up? Obviously, I'm not talking price because nobody can predict the price future. But how do you see WebDollar interacting with folks in the future? And where do you think this thing is going to go? I mean, you know, you might have a better insight.
Like you said, nobody can predict the price. This will be set by the market. What I think about WebDollar, well, considering all these features and looking at other crypto coins and looking at our community, how excited they are, and looking again at the core team, how involved they get, I think is gonna have a bright future. I think WebDollar will go into top 10 of cryptocurrencies in the first probably 12 to 24 months. That's my personal prediction.
Wow, that's a pretty big prediction. But all right, you know, I definitely, you know, I'm a little more conservative. There's a lot of coins out there. There's a lot of people that have their groups and their favorites. You know, I have added WebDollar to one of my favorites only because of its sheer uniqueness in its presentation and how it's going about interacting with people. I see it doing something that none of the others are doing, and whether or not it'll make it to the top 10, that's a really lofty goal, and especially in 2 years. But you know, I think that it's going to become a more looked at resource, and I think it could have you know, some value going into the future. But you know, hey, you guys keep going. You know, you have all these great ideas. You guys keep going at it, and when it gets into the top 10, you can laugh at me. You know,
I'm not gonna laugh. I'm not gonna laugh at you. I'm sure we will still have a good relationship, and yes, I think WebDollar's future is going to be really, really great.
I think so too, and I hope you make it into the top 10, and knock the socks off all the other coins. It's exciting to see, and I'm glad to see all that enthusiasm coming from the team. You guys, you know, you guys are always pretty active and getting answers to people and have lofty ideas. So, you know, It's just like Steve Jobs, you know, who's going to buy a computer? Nobody wants that, you know, and I'm going to make it anyway, you know, and that's what you guys are doing. That's the same feel that I get from you guys. So that's pretty awesome. Well, I want to congratulate you guys on what you've done so far. It's impressed me from where I stand, and I'm expecting to see all sorts of great stuff. I know the community has and the people that have started with it have given me a lot of positive feedback. They're pretty excited about it. Yeah, I think you guys are gonna do. You're gonna do well. I think you're gonna do well. Keep going at it. And
thank you.
I appreciate.
Thank you for your words, Dino. I think all the merit should go to the developers team because they've done an incredible work.
Yeah, you have to hook me up so that I can interview a couple of the developers, or at least get one of them on the screen with me. I know.
I'm sure more than happy to do it.
Yeah, Panette, I sent them a Telegram. I think he said that he would like to do an interview. We'll see if we can get him on and maybe get into some more of the technical stuff with him, and ask him some of the hard questions, and he can tell me about the great stuff that they're doing. But hopefully that'll happen. It'll be pretty exciting if it does, and we'll go forward from there. Any last closing statement?
Thank you for your invite and for hosting me at your radio show. It's been great to be here, and I hope I'll see you soon.
Thank you, George. I appreciate you. Bye-bye now.
Thank you, Dino.
So I hope you enjoyed the interview. If you have any questions, you can access the DigitSpin Telegram, put them there. Yeah, George does visit it each day almost, or every other day, answers anybody's questions that they may have, and of course I may be able to answer them for you if I know the answer. I hope this was fun and entertaining, and don't forget to visit and see our live show 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. That's PM, not AM, but PM. And I thank you for visiting DigitSpin Crypto, and see you next time.